All right, here we go. I'm going to a job site right now. Contractor just told me that they're ready for their final payment. I actually have not been to this job site since I bought the property, so this is an interesting one. I actually bought it in an auction. With my construction company, I had a customer who hired me, and this was like at the end of my construction company. I'm driving, so I can't pay too much attention to this thing right now. That'd be illegal. But anyway, the customer, this was like one of the last customers I had in my construction company, and might be why it was one of the last customers I had in my construction company. Is they were a nightmare to deal with. This was like the classic. I would call this a retail real estate investor. Okay, retail meaning like a retail client, and anyway, they think they're a flipper, but they're not actually a flipper. They're a retail customer in disguise. My construction company, what I would always try to do is work with business owners, like people like us, people who are flipping houses or investing in real estate. And the whole concept was that I could do it at scale, and that would help with the lower margins or whatever. Lower margins, more volume. Didn't work out like I thought. It was a nightmare, and it turns out that most investors are, more like retail customers. So this was that exact scenario. Basically, this woman wanted to implement my strategy. So it's like the same thing I teach you guys on here, like exactly how you build scopes of work, and we go after the baseline and the big three. Basically like the few things that you do to upgrade the property. The first few things that they see, and not do everything. Anyway, so she was all on board with that, and then she wasn't. Okay, and so then she started to get mad. It went south, and so anyway, this was back when I had the construction company. She ran out of money, and she couldn't pay anymore, and she owed me money. Right? I guess she used my tactics and didn't pay me ahead. And anyway, she ended up getting foreclosed on, and but I was owed money, so I went down to the auction and bought this house, and I bought it for probably more than I should have bought it for. I bought it for almost $200,000, I think. But I had to buy it because they owed me money. So really, to me, it was much cheaper than the $200,000 because I had to extract my cash out of there. And well, I had also already done. I was the construction company on the project, and so I had already done the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, rough ends, and I knew everything about the property. We had done structural work on it already. There was structural problems, framing. The floor was all kinds of messed up. If you're just tuning in, we're getting ready to go look at this job site here. But anyway, so I had to go buy this property at an auction, and we had done the framing, we had done the structural, we had done like the siding, we had repaired a lot of the windows, had to redo the roof. There were two chimneys that popped up through that roof, and they were both like decrepit. We like kept the fireplaces on the inside because this house has like a lot of charm, old character to it. Okay, not that we're like designers around here, but it was clearly like old, nice trim with these nice chimneys and such, and so we kept the fireplace, but we took down the chimneys that were protruding through the roof because they were like you could see daylight in between the bricks. The mortar had basically gone to nothingness, and so we did all that, and then took the actual chimneys protruding through the roof out, and then re-roofed it. Okay, I did siding on the front, you know, but the sides and back we left with the old vinyl. You know, this is actually one of the sticking points that led to me and that customer having some issues. But you know, the whole big three concept is that somebody walks up to the house and they're basically making a decision on whether they want to buy or not. And so we made the windows on the front very nice, and then I used like the Allura or Hardy style siding on the front. Did some trim work to make it nicer. We did some stuff around the deck, and you know, the plan was to do nice landscaping and maybe like a white picket fence in the front. But the sides and the back, like, you know, nobody makes the decision on whether they're going to buy or not by walking down the sides and the back, because you got to think about how people are walking through these properties. So you're going to park in the front, and you're going to walk up. You're going to see this nice landscaping, this nice work that we did with the front porch. You're going to see that new siding on the front, and you're going to start thinking, oh, this is a high-end house. This is good. I like this. And then you're going to poke your head in the front door, and what are the, you know, first couple things you see in this particular house, as you're going to see soon, it's they're going to see like nice wood floors. So this is a like nicer neighborhood. It's a higher end baseline, and they're going to see that. And then as soon as they poke their head around the corner, they're going to be able to see the kitchen. So the goal was to put a little extra into the kitchen. All right, so that's the whole concept of the big three. But nobody walks up to the front of the house and they're like, well, let me go see the sides of the back now. All right, so we left the vinyl. You know, it was whatever color it was. We, you know, like made everything the same color, but we left the vinyl. And, you know, also what I would do is I would take the vinyl off the front that has been sitting, you know, it's been there for a while. Therefore, it's got certain, you know, sun coloration to it and such. And uh, so instead of like on the sides and the back where we need to patch stuff in, instead of buying new for those and patching in where you could clearly see the difference between the old and the new, I would take the old off the front and patch it into the sides and back. I do this all the time. Okay, and then for this particular house, there was a lot of patching in that we had to do with the vinyl siding, and so I removed all of the siding from one of the sides, and then used the excess to patch in the back and the other side. And then we did, in fact, buy new vinyl for the other side, because you see the coloration is going to be slightly different because of the sun, you know, and the weathering or whatever. And it's hard to buy the same vinyl that, you know, was bought 5 or 10 years ago. And so you need to separate it by corners. You see by the way, we're getting ready to go to the job site here, but you separate it by corners, and you know, then people can't tell that it's a shade off or whatever. All right, so I do this all the time. Once again, like, people aren't making decisions because of the sides and the back of the house. They're making it based on where they walk up. Now, if they were walking up to the side of the house, if that's the entry point on the house, you know, we're always thinking about what the entry point is on the house. If they were walking up that way, then that would be a different story. You know, I would replan my big three. Okay, so that's what's going on with this property. Now, here's the thing, is after I bought it at the auction, it is, I made a plan change. So the person that I bought it from, this was like an ex-customer of mine that, you know, things went south. She got foreclosed on, and I bought the property since we had already started the work. Made a lot of sense. I knew the property well, and she owed me money. So she had planned on flipping it. So you do make some different decisions based on whether you're flipping or selling. Okay, and so flipping, you know, i.e. selling, or holding it as a rental and refinancing it. And pretty much these days, I hold everything as a rental instead of selling them. Same process, just you're selling to the bank through a refinance instead, and then you got to rent it out. But I have the property management company, so it makes a lot of sense for me. And as long as you don't need the money, I flip if I need cash. And anyway, I made the decision when I picked this thing back up at the auction that I was going to swap the plan to be more rental related. And what that means is like you just put a little bit less into the icing on the cake, but the cake is the same. In fact, you don't have much icing at all. Like you're basically doing everything to the baseline. The big three, yes, you think about that, but it matters a lot less to a renter than it does to a buyer. So, you save a little bit of money there. You also, that really is the difference. Just a little bit more icing on the cake with a flip. And anyway, so I made that decision. But here's the thing. So I altered the plan. But remember, when I bought this from her at the auction, like we had only really done the rough ends. We had the floors in, so I certainly wouldn't put these hardwood floors in on a rental house. Maybe on a flip in that neighborhood, because it's like it's a B-class neighborhood. It's actually like a hot spot in this town. People really like living over here, but it kind of used to not be a hot spot. So depends what street you go down. But people like buying here. But anyway, I'll tell you that I basically bought this house at the auction. I even, it's funny when you buy houses at auctions, I had to crawl through the window to get in because they don't like give you a key. You basically, you give them a check, and then I guess you own it, like you sign a piece of paper saying you're buying it, and then you give them a check for more money than you won at the auction. And then you wait, and they send you some stuff in the mail, and you go down to the courthouse and record the title once they send you the stuff. It's kind of scary, Gosh, I haven't been to this house in so long. I got to put it in my GPS. So hold on. It's over by my office. But yeah. So the way it works is they take cashier's checks, right? And you make them out to yourself, and then you sign them over to them. And so you don't know what you're gonna win. You don't know like how much it's actually gonna cost you to buy it. And so it's not like I could have brought the check. I think I bought this one for $192 and $1 or something like that. So it's not like I knew that's what it would take to win the auction. And so you have to bring a bunch of cashier's checks. You bring like a couple $50,000 cashier's checks, maybe $100,000 cashier's check, a $20,000 one, a $15,000 one. I forget like what checks I bring. I just use AI to tell me like, what checks do I need to reach these amounts, because you don't want to go too much over. Like I wouldn't have wanted to write a check for $250,000. I wanted to get to where I would have been like right at. I think 200,000 is ultimately what I gave them between 6 different checks or something like that, and then they refund me the difference. Between the 192 and the 200, they sent me a check for $8,000 back after like 30 days. Okay, so weird situation, kind of scary, but there are some great deals to be had at the auction. There's also like it's easy to pay over something at an auction. And once again, I certainly paid over on this property. However, it was necessity because I was owed money on it. I was the second lien holder anyway, so I was basically buying out my own loan. Okay, and so as soon as I bought the thing, I went to a hard money lender, and then I just got my cash back. You see how that works? So you actually do have to go there with cash, and it's hard to say to a lender that, hey, you should, will you give me, you wouldn't even know how much you would need because the auction isn't won yet. So you kind of have to go down there with your own cash. So I went down there with my own cash, these cashier's checks, won the deal, and then I went to the hard money lender saying, hey, I got this house. Now I want you to throw a loan on it and the construction portion. And I have a good relationship with my hard money lenders, so they did that. For most people, they would probably have to wait until they actually had that deed recorded. And even at that, it is, I honestly, I don't know how it would work, because the title isn't, when you buy the title foreclosed, it's a little bit funky. And I think that people would probably be scared about that. So I really don't know. I can't give you any guidance there. It worked for me. I don't know, this isn't really like a process that I normally do, as you probably know. I just send mail, and well, that works really well for me. And because people just call me when they're ready. But anyway, I bought this one at the auction. A little bit of a different process. There are some great deals to be had. I've gotten great deals at auctions. It's just odd because of what I was just explaining with the hard money. Like, you gotta go with cash. Lenders aren't going to give you the cash before you go down there. You don't know what you're going to win it for, so you got to write all these different cashier's checks. And even after you've acquired it, you don't have the deed for like 30 days. So if it wasn't for my relationship with that lender, would you have been able to get the hard money loan put on afterwards? I really don't know. I'm trying to see how the comments work on this thing. I'm driving, so it's hard. But I'm almost there. I'm almost to the property, guys. Get excited. Get excited. Go look at my GPS here. It's been a while. So yeah, I bought this house at the auction, crawled through the window, got in, got a contractor in there to give me a bid for basically the whole thing. Once again, it was going to be a flip, but then I changed it to a rental right after I bought it at the auction. And anyway, I haven't seen it since. They've asked for some money during the project, and really, since I have this particular contractor on so many different projects, I'm ahead of the money globally, and so I would release funds based on pictures alone, and which isn't don't do that. Go to your job sites if you only have a couple going on. I have 16 projects open right now, and they're always coming in from rentals and such. And so I'm lazy. That's why I do this. So I have not seen this property since the day I bought it, other than the pictures. And I'm pumped, guys. I hope you are too. It's going to be exciting. And all right, so I sent this to my property manager yesterday, and I was like, hey, this is ready for rent, or so the contractor says. Haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, but I'm going to go out and look. And anyway, they gave me a number for the rent that was much lower than I anticipated. And so now I'm thinking maybe I'm going to sell this thing, okay, because the rental is not going to work that great for me. Oh, it looks like shit, guys. I'm joking. It's not that bad. This is always how it works, by the way. People will tell you shit's finished, and it's not. It's never finished. There's like a half-life to all these projects where they say, hey, this is done, or in this case, ready for inspection, ready for like final. Off.
about now? Now? Anybody? The sound back on. On again. Nice. Oh, well, I was just saying that that contractor just went by, and that's like the exact type of contractor. Fits the profile. And that's how you fill your pipeline. You just talk to these guys when you see them, but I missed that one. Okay, here we are. Everybody, get excited. This is not great. Oof. Okay, so this fence, it actually probably just needs cleaned up since this is a rental. So I had to bring in like a new sewer line all the way through here. This was all dug up. You can see they didn't fix that. So this is the thing, like people always, you know, they tell you it's done. There's this half-life of like, dude, did you even look at the damn thing? Okay, and so, no, in this case, probably not. Okay, but you see what I'm talking about. All right, this is classic, that you redo the front. So redid the front. This is all like hardy siding. Got nice trim. I mean, it does look nice. These, especially if I was selling it, not renting, I would clean this up a little bit. Like pressure washing would really do well here. We would get this nasty looking storm door off because that basically says, hey, this is a ghetto house. And this used to be like a pretty bad house. So, okay, we filled in here on the deck. This was an open deck, and we filled that in. Makes it look a little bit nicer. Once again, this got switched from a flip to a rental. I would redo those stairs, especially if it was going to be a flip. Had to put in new HVAC. You see, this used to be a door. I would build something over the top of this if it wasn't going to be a rental, but this is not going to be a problem as a rental. Check this out. You see how that's wrong? That's just going to let water go back to your house. So especially on a rental, you really want to look at all these water issues. Okay. Still got to clean up some of this stuff. This is perfect. This will be the video I send my contractor. Okay, you can see though what I was talking about with the differing levels. You can see the difference, but it's not going to be that big of a deal, especially here on the side of the house. So you got to put in a clean out right outside the house and a clean out in the road. Okay, so rental situation here. I don't know if you can see, but the dirt is lower here. So I would bring dirt in because I definitely don't want to create this pool that's totally going to destroy the foundation over time. Okay, here we go. We got condensation for the HVAC. Once again, if I'm holding this as a rental, especially, I want to look at all these water issues with a fine-tooth comb. I got stuff growing in the gutter over there. I want that out, okay? This needs to get away from my house. Okay, you're always looking at how water can come back at the house. You see, we have some negative drainage here. We're gonna get all that fixed. Okay, luckily this is all gonna be part of the work from the contractor. Okay, we built this little deck in the back. This might be the way that people come in. So actually it's still on the list to build like a wooden short fence back here. Okay, clean up this fence stuff here. Yeah, all right. Sound still working all right? I assume, otherwise somebody would have said something. That looks all right for a rental. Okay. That's not so nice. Okay, rental. You want to control the bleeding. We got holes in the siding. You always want to look around your windows and such to make sure that everything is filled in. Eesh. Gotta clean out those gutters. Old HVAC probably needs to get out of here. This needs to be weathered better. See that up there? We're not flashed up. Can water get in? Can water get in anywhere? If you're out there, Ian, I too wear the Crocs. Oh, look at that. A little slug right there. Nice. Okay. We back. That'll piss you right off, huh? A little bit of paint on that deck. Why not? Screen's busted. This does look nice up here, though, I'll tell you. Oof. Oh, look at that. That was my lane. Put it on the door. Well, cool. Haven't ever read those, guys. If you're just tuning in, I had to buy this house from an auction because back in the construction company days, this customer didn't pay me and they got foreclosed on. Not by me, by their main lender. I also had a lien because they hadn't paid me for work. And so I was just looking at the whatever, the notice of mechanics liens and such on the door. But anyway, I bought this thing like months ago now. I bought it in February, and I have not been back to this job site since I bought it. When I bought it, I had to crawl through the window to get in, which is legit. That's how this works sometimes. Ooh. And well, anyway, I handed it off to a contractor, and here I am for the first time. I wonder if it's going to be good or not. Ooh. Here we go. I'm nervous. There's, look, guys, hang on. Just hang on. I shit you not. Guy's asking for final payment, and I say, okay, like, literally, these are questions I ask because so many times people say things are done, and they're not. They're never done, okay? Before I show you what I'm looking at right now, just, so I start asking questions always like, dude, all right, and I frame it something like this. Okay, I'm gonna send the property manager over here. Are they going to tell me anything is wrong? Okay, no, they're not. Okay, well, hey, hang on, let me say it like this. If I had a tenant that's ready to move in today, can they go over there and move their shit in? Yeah, yep, we're ready for payment. Well, guys, you tell me. Is this ready for a tenant to move in? Look at it. Look, that's water in the bottom. Trash everywhere. Okay, this neighborhood's not bad, but I'm always going to be locking these doors. Okay. Come on, guys, in the comments here. Look at this trash, dude. It's not even close. Look at this. Oh, the lights work. Okay. Actually, the kitchen looks fine, but generally speaking, when you say something's done, it would have appliances in. I know this is like wild, but like, this is what happens all the time. Yeah, it's done, and it's never done. It's not even close to done, is the funny thing. Okay, but it looks good. I mean, like, generally speaking, the stuff, I can see the vision here is, somewhat coming to fruition, but it's not there. Looks pretty good. Okay. I mean, the high ceilings are cool. I would say that, it could be a good property. I mean, I could even sell this thing, honestly, once a few more things happen. The fridge will be fine over here. It's a good layout. Look at this here, though. See this? See that staining around there? There's a water leak somewhere. Also, just, this drives me nuts. These are black, that's white. And if this was gonna be a sale, we would certainly get nicer fixtures in here. And yeah, this could be nice, actually. I mean, it's got really high ceilings. This could be a great sale. Oh, look at this, classic, quintessential work stuff. It's a nice little can of Corona Extra. Okay, that looks nice. This'll make you angry that they could have had this same height and instead they made a lip. And there's no transition. That bothers me. Trying to figure out how to see the chats here. There you go. Oh. Hey, here you go. Now I can see the chats. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to work this live stream thing on here. Ian's up here. What's up, man? Was? What? I don't know how to say your name, buddy. Okay. Oh, generally, you would like a mirror around here. Another day or two, though, Ian says. And it's like, yeah, if I can get these guys here. This is disgusting. It's cool. Okay, but look at this shit. This is chrome. This is satin nickel. You guys have heard me talk about how much the hardware matching throughout matters. Especially on a sale. This is a rental, so I might not care that much, but yeah, I mean, it just doesn't match. Damn it. And what is this? Somebody cut this. My God. You just never know what you're going to get around here. That's what I know. That's not going to be legal. At all. Bo knows, dude. Seriously though, amigos? Yeah, dude. Of course. Yeah, so I gotta have excursions here in the wall. Bo knows, by the way, dude, I haven't heard from you in a few days. Thought that dentist ate you alive or something. You have to have escutcheons here, which basically you gotta cover those holes. You gotta get a box here is what we'll have to do, and then extend this properly with MC cable. You can't just have Romex hanging out around here. So it's worth it? Oh, dude. Yeah, it's way worth it. I mean, this is a 1,400 square foot house. The floors, the paint, drywall work, I mean, the MEP, which like I'm gonna have to manage through all that stuff. But listen, I've been here one time, literally. I've been here. He's saying, is it worth it to hire these kind of guys to do the work? Yeah, I've been here one time, and however long ago I bought it, and I didn't give much direction at all. So like a lot of this stuff's on me, but yeah, maybe 20 grand for labor. Come on, of course it's worth it. Of course it's worth it. And like the other really the only other option is hiring like billboard type of guys or billboard wannabe guys, and good luck there too. There's going to be a whole different set of issues. Like these guys want to work. I think somebody just pulled up. Nope. I do have inspections today, which was I'm gonna have to cancel those because this is not ready for MEP inspections. But yeah, a couple of you guys in there have said basically that, a couple more days of work, just cleaning. Oh, I see. You are much calmer than I would be. Oh, that's just because this top peak says you're much calmer. It's just because I've been screwed so many times, dude, that I'm so used to it. And it's just, it's just a game of numbers. This is why, I don't get worked up about this kind of stuff because generally, I get a great deal on the front end, so it doesn't matter that much. On this one here, I didn't get a great deal because I had to buy it at auction from that person who wouldn't pay me. But yeah, it just is what it is. It's like, usually get a great deal on the front end. And usually the labor is pretty cheap. And I just expect when I come into these places that there's going to be, a lot more work to do. Let's see, what did you have to say there? I'm trying to figure out how to do this on the damn phone. That's all. There you are. I've also been screwed by a few number of times. Yep. Yes. Right. Whatever, man. I'll tell you that, the big question here is like the type of guys that I work with. Is it a detriment? I'll tell you this, man. My personal house, I was, we were doing like some work on the foundation underneath the house. So sitting in a tight crawl space, and I'm sitting there with, 4 of these guys, and, I was like hanging out with guys doing working their asses off and not being pussies about it. And then I got the other hand where I got people complaining about all these things and whining. Nah, man, not for me. I'll take the guys that are going to work their asses off and try hard. And then, I'll do my job, which is I should have written a better scope here. I should have come to the job site more than one time in a handful of months. Like, it's on me. I'm calm because I know it's my fault and I knew what I was signing up for. If, from my experience, what I found is subcontractors can be a pain, but you can't beat the price and they still do good work. Yeah, that's right. There's a difference though between that and like crackheads. Okay, like I used to try to get it done real cheap, and those are the guys that'll come in and like all this stuff would have been stolen, and that was a dark period in my career of trying to deal with those guys. But anyway, this is just like classic stuff. Like I definitely didn't think I was going to open the door to this thing and be like, oh my God, ready to rent. I figured it would be a nightmare. And it is. Hey, what's up? Got my Friday attire on today, guys. It's date night. My wife's taking me to my favorite restaurant because it's my birthday. Not today, my birthday was a couple days ago, but we're busy. Favorite restaurant? Texas Roadhouse. Why? Because I don't feel guilty about buying a $20 steak. I'll eat 2 of those sons of guns. All right, look at this. Same thing. Damn it. Who puts chrome in a house? And who the hell is this short? I mean, my God, look at this thing. It's a chest washer. I'm tall, but I'm pretty tall. But yeah, that's silliness. Especially, it's especially hilarious because of the super high ceilings. Hey, this is a trick of the trade though, right here. You see this? Light the fart fan. Especially great on rentals because tenants don't give a damn about the humidity in your bathroom. They don't care about the water and the damage. And so you force them to turn on that fart fan when they turn on the light. I like that. Nickel only. Dude, the black mat. But whatever. I'm not going to get into a style argument with anybody. I mean, you see me. So, but just consistency throughout. I mean, like, guys, look at this. I got black right here. Hang on. I don't want to ruin the surprise. I got black right here. And then I got freaking satin nickel. Jesus. Look at these. Look. That's a self-tapper screw. This is a normal screw. This is a different screw altogether. Yeah. But anyway, dude, do you guys think that after doing this for 17 years, that I just walk into these houses, there are no mistakes whatsoever, everything's perfect, everything's coordinated? Nah, man. It's just always kind of chaos, and you get really good at managing them, and you get really good at managing yourself. But I'm telling you, I'm always ahead at the end of the deal, and that's really what it's all about. Why are there other ways to do this on like higher end houses? Certainly are, man, but I am never feeling at risk, and that's why I can stay calm all the time, because I'm never out ahead of the money or behind on the money. Sure, I got to deal with some crap from some guys that are trying their asses off, but just like, messing some stuff up. Fine. But, 20 grand for the labor. I'm in the money on this deal. So be it. I'll deal with it. It's fun. What else are you going to do? Here we go. Bonos. Sure. Black for flips, but nickel for rental. Absolutely consistent finishes. Yep. Dig it. So what things will you have them fix for this rental? Oh, gosh, dude, the list was a mile long. This is what I'm going to do. After this, I'll tell you one other thing. Look at this. There's just no doubt in my mind that these like screws like this are probably all over the house. And that means that these guys were walking around and they for sure stepped on that and for sure scratched the shit out of this floor. That's like an expensive floor. But anyway, he says, so what things are you going to have him fixed for this rental? What I'm going to do when we get done with this, my office is actually just a few blocks away. So I'm going to take this live stream that I just did, that they turn into a video automatically, and I'll have AI take it out and make a list. And then I'll send it to the guy and say, hey man, I know you wanted your final payment for this, but you effed up. Sorry, let's try again. Here are the things that I want. And, I think I'm holding quite a bit of money on this one, just because we have a lot going on globally, him and I. And so he'll probably want some money, but that's fine. I'll give him some money. I'm always just thinking about the, being ahead. Hey, AI for later. There's some paint problems in the master bedroom. See that, guys? Oh, love AI. Bo knows, dude. Yeah, AI is great. Are you kidding me? It does so many things. I did the 7 ways I use AI video yesterday, I think. Let's see. Will you have the same guys fix all the stuff? And are they going to get more money after fixing it? Oh, it's definitely part of the original scope, dude. That's the whole thing is can I push these comments so you guys actually know what I'm no, I can time you out. That's the best I can do. I'm not going to do that though. He says, will you have the same guys do the work, fix all the stuff, or are you going to give them more money after fixing it, or is it part of the original scope? It's certainly part of the original scope. And yeah, I'll have the same guys do it. Dude, the only way I'm getting rid of somebody is if they're truly a shitbag. Like they're messing stuff up. They're like not messing stuff up because of, like if they're messing stuff up because they're like, I don't know, prioritizing other jobs or getting effed up on the job or something like that. Like those are reasons that I might have to let somebody go. But I give people lots of chances, man. Like if they're trying and they're coming and working, and I think that they can get it done, yeah, for sure. I'd like to work with this guy again. What he's shown me is that he can get to the end of a project. I love that. Okay, so fine by me. But yeah, he'll absolutely do this job. That's why it's important to always be ahead of the money. This is like, why can I do as many projects as I do and, get them done? It's because it's all about being ahead of the money, that this guy's owed money and the project's not finished. And so he wants to get that money and it's almost there. He's almost to the end. So what do you think he's going to do when I send him this list? And it's not like there's no like hairs to split here. It's clearly not done. And a lot of money's owed. So the prize is big and it's right in front of him. I'm for sure going to get him to do all this stuff. It's going to be no problem. I know this looks crazy, but this is pretty average stuff. Now, this is what happens to a lot of people, is that they get in this position and then they've already paid the person. Okay, then you're effed. Okay, not even because the person might be malicious, the contractor, and they're like, oh, well, they got the money and they're trying to screw you, right? The thing that happens is that this contractor, he picked up another job while he was here, for sure. I mean, they always do. They have to, because just think about it. If you were running that business, you'd be like, I got this one project, it's coming to the end. What happens if this guy who buys 100 freaking houses a year doesn't happen to buy another one? Like it's human nature. You would be thinking the same thing. And what if he doesn't give the job to me? And so you would start looking. You'd have your ear out. And you would start looking for the next job. You would get the next job. And then on that next job, do you think that he's going to get that job by telling the customer, well, I'm working on another project. I'll be over here in about a month. No, he's going to say, I'll start right away. You'd have to. If you were running the business, you would probably do the same thing. Okay. And it's not only one more job. He probably did 2 more jobs. And so I know that's the case. And that's why I know that if I had paid him all of the money, then what would have happened is, well, that next project over there, I'm closer to the money there, and I need money because I got to pay my guys, I got to pay myself, and then I'll come back and do that. I promise I'll do it, promising myself. But just fires always come up. So then you just keep getting backburnered, and that's how you get into the black hole. Because they're always putting out the brightest fire. And that's why I'm always the freaking brightest fire. And the fire is always the money, And sometimes I get on the phone and I, get a little aggressive. But yeah, make sure that you're the brightest fire. It's that simple. And most of that, guys, is done by the money. Let's see here. Every project, this is Top Peak, says every project I've ever seen has some type of punch out list at the end. This one seems a little bigger, not surprising. Yeah, well, my fault, for sure. I'm over here just making content for you guys instead of coming to job sites. But maybe this is the way that I can do both. I can just come to my job sites. We can look at them together. I don't know. Well, that's all right. Is this one going to be rented next week? I'm thinking probably not. Okay, but we'll survive. No problem. It's not irredeemable. You guys got any questions or anything before I hop off of here? Anybody? Glad Bo Nose is back. I thought the dentist ate him, but he's fine, guys. I sent you a message on the solo house flipper community too, because I was actually thinking, shit, I hope that something didn't happen to that guy. Last week you were a top contributor on there. This week, you didn't make it. Ian, top dog right now, crushing it. I got by the way, a special prize coming. I'm working on this thing for the top contributor of the solo house flipper community. I'm trying to come up with like a better way to score it. But anyway, I got a nice little surprise coming. I'm working on it. Give me some time. Let's see. Will you have them replace the fixtures to be matching? Yeah, I will have them replace those fixtures. Because that's like one of those things. I don't know if Andrew's on here right now, but I talk crap all the time about like paint on hinges. I also talk crap all the time about fixtures being matching. So it's not like those things are unclear. Like I don't let people know about that. So that's like leadership 101 is that I'm not gonna nitpick stuff. So I'm not like that. Okay, but I do have my things, and I make those things very clear. I set the expectation very clear, and I'm pretty ruthless about those few things. But you got to pick your few things. Now, obviously, like scope of work stuff is just, is what it is. But yeah, there are those things that I'll be nitpicky about. Oh, is this an inspector right here? He's going to be disappointed when he comes. That's all right, though. What are you going to do? What did you just ask? How was this not in the scope of work? Which part? The fixtures? It was. It's always in the scope of work. The thing is that they probably don't read them fully, but
Volume is working. Can you guys hear me? Because I just turned on my truck, and sometimes that messes with stuff. Inspector would do. I would do it. I just tell them I'm on FaceTime. Can you guys hear me though? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. I lost it last time I got in my truck, so is it dead? Oh, now it's on. Hey. Yeah, so Bo Knows was asking how it's not in the scope of work. Guys, these things like there's two ways to do a scope of work. Right? You can be like really fine tuned about the scope of work and then basically like break it out into a bunch of different contractors. And I would say that if I was trying to be perfect about it, I would probably do something like that. Like find like the best flooring guys to do just the flooring, find the best painters to do just the paint. And like really when I was maybe at the peak, I would do that kind of stuff. Okay, I do think you end up paying a little bit more that way, weirdly, because you just get such a like bulk discount by having one guy or one crew do a bunch of crap. Because they just look at it. They look at it and they think, oh, that's going to take like a few weeks, and so it'd be this much labor. And then they get into the details, and it's probably more than that, but it was a bid, so we're good to go. Whereas when you separate things out, it's easier to manage one thing at a time, but it's a lot more steps for you. Like if I was to do that, I would have had to have the floor, and the work would have been better, no doubt. Like using the specific contractors for the specific things, the work would be better. And as long as you manage a clean end to the scope and hand it off correctly, it would be better, no doubt. Okay, but with the all arounder, so basically what I do is, I'll do like the mechanical, electrical, plumbing separately, and sometimes the like structural type of stuff, like the first phase. And then I hand everything off to the same guy, like to a contractor, an all arounder, because that's how I'm able to get a bid and then wait till the end. Hang on, Bono says, it's why I don't work for flippers. I'm going to rein myself in on flips. Yeah. Cool. The all arounder. Yeah. So what happens when you have this all arounder who does all of the things is the scope just like there's always things that come like little things that come up that could go one way or the other. So I got to be honest that when I'm going to have an all-arounder do these things, I let my scope be a little bit more ambiguous, that it's more like, get this done, get this ready for rental. And, here are like the finishes that I want and stuff like that. And I don't write a very detailed scope because quite honestly, it's in my advantage. Because yes, I have to go deal with stuff like that. No doubt. That sucks. Sometimes I guess that sucked. Bo knows is an all-arounder. Nice. Bet you're good at it too. I bet you don't leave stuff like that. I do know that. Okay, I wouldn't be dealing with that. However, I'd probably have to pay you more than I pay for these things. So, just the balance here. Not saying that's a bad thing. If my YouTube channels were about teaching people how to run a construction business, I would be saying different things. So you're right to disagree with me on some of these things as a construction business owner. Okay, but anyway, the scope is a little bit more ambiguous, which is in my favor. Okay, because basically I have agreed to an outcome, which is I want this thing ready for rental. And here are the guardrails. These are the finishes that I would like. And and then I get to manage, I get to have like negotiations throughout, like the negotiation right here, which basically says that, I am not saying this is ready for rent yet, and I owe you money. So I'm sorry, but these are the things that are going to make it ready for rent. Let's get that done, and then you can have your money. Okay, so it's a negotiation. And the important thing here is just the fuel that runs all of it, which is relationship capital. I know that in here I talk a lot of shit, and I talk, like maybe it comes off as I'm talking mean about the contractors. These are guys that I would have to my dinner table. Okay, like I would consider these guys like my best friends. Like truly, I guess my guiding philosophy is don't be a pussy. And these guys are not pussies. They work their asses off, and I love that. Those are the types of people I want to rub elbows with, and that's where I find them. So like this story about me being in the crawl space, like talking with these guys, and honestly could barely like understand some of them. That's awesome to me. Guys working hard and doing things rather than people complaining and whining and trying to get more out of you and trying to screw you at every corner. And so so it is a give and take. Like there is going to be some give and take here, guys. I'm not, like I want to make sure that guy succeeds, because if he succeeds, okay, so the next time he does a project, and it's not the first time this guy's done projects with me. In fact, it's been for years, if he succeeds, the next time he knows more what I want on the project. And he knows more that, oh gosh, I'm going to like not get paid if I don't finish these things up. Ross is a dick about some things, but he's like, he always pays me. Then that's what they'll say, and it's like, truly, the devil is better than the devil you don't. And this is the thing that happens with contractors that work with me is like sometimes they'll go out and try to like get higher paying jobs. And they like always come back, especially in times like this where like work is a little bit slower in certain areas, because I always pay people. It's not like I'm trying to screw these guys over, but I do want what I want, and that's fair. And that, whatever, at least that thing is measurable to them. So relationship capital, fuels the whole thing. Just, you know, that's all I can say about it. Give a damn about them doing all right. But if somebody's trying to fleece you, uh, fight with every damn thing you have. That's it. Always, it's like you carry the big sword. That doesn't mean you have to swing it. You need to be in the advantage. You absolutely need to. You need to be ahead of the money. You need to have the scope in your favor. You need to have all of the weapons that you can possibly have and know how to use them. That doesn't mean you use them. You build relationship capital and take, get the things taken from you. Give. I am commonly on the wrong side of the deal because I favor the relationship capital and the long-term relationship over the short term. And that's the way you want to be. But when it comes time to get yours, you got to. That's it. You pick your battles. That's really what it comes down to. All pulling up to the office now, boys. Bo, I saw that you said some things, and well, didn't see what that was. Let's see. Always trying to get over retail customers. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure, because they don't care. Retail customers don't care. That's why I got out of that game a long time ago, because they're honestly, Bo. It's like I've done projects at my own house, and it has a different feeling than when I'm going into these other ones. Like I start to, you know, be weird about things. It's like some kind of, I don't know, your nest, I guess. And I'd be the farthest person from. So I'm at my office or in the parking lot, so it's fine. But yeah, yeah, you just have it has a different feel, no doubt, no doubt. And like I do rentals like this, or mostly first or second time home buyers, because just the level is lower, and I like that because then I can get away with working with these guys and such. Ian, good luck at that appointment. Love. Hey, by the way, dude, you're crushing on going on these appointments. You guys want to see who's going to be successful next? It's Ian. He's been on like 3, 4, 5 appointments in the last few days. The dude wants to make it happen, and he's freaking making it happen. That's what you got to take action. He's taking massive action. Good for you. Can't wait to see what you do here. Perfection, yeah. Bonos, and it's impossible, dude. That last like 10% is like where all the money's at. Okay, you pick your battles and go. Relationship, key to your success. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the two biggest things for my business personally is, I'm trying to read through these messages here. But the two biggest things for my business undoubtedly is the relationships that I built with vendors, despite the trash talking I do, and the sword type of it, or side of it. I have great relationships with the guys that I work with, and then the second thing is I get phenomenal deals, no doubt. And the phenomenal deals, yes, I know I'm always pitching home base because well, I built that product for a reason. I believe in it strongly. It's what I use. Okay, that's the direct mail. But the truth is, it's finding the people who have the headaches, and you have to be the person that they believe can relieve the headache. And part of the reason, so it's basically building authority. And it's because I know construction. That's a big part of it. I know sales, but I know construction. So when I go to these houses to buy somebody's house, and I start talking about, the things that we talk about in here, like especially on job sites, just imagine that. What do you think they're thinking? Like they just talked with some 20-year-old wholesaler who didn't know houses. And then they talk to me, who, I pull up in a truck that has my construction company logo on the side. Customer job. But, and look the part. Authority is there already. And so now it's just going through like the pricing, this is what I think the house would sell for. This is what I think I'm going to have to do in work. And it's believable. And truly, like, when people talk about sales, everybody gets a little bit freaked out because you get that like greasy car salesman vibe in your head, but it's not like that at all. Here's why I'm a phenomenal salesperson is because I'm candid as F. Okay, truly, this is what it's going to cost me, and I'll tell you right now, like this is what it would cost a normal person. I'm not a normal person. I'm certainly going to get this work done for cheaper, but can't you agree that this is what you would have to pay if you were to get this work done? And then here's what I think things will sell for. Do you agree with the after repair value of this house, which also means you're agreeing that it's not worth that now until I get this work done? And don't you agree that if I'm taking the risk of buying this crappy house that is giving you humongous headaches, and that I've built my business around being able to deal with these headaches, don't you think that I, as the investor and the risk taker, should get a little bit, 15, 20%? And here you go. Here are all the numbers. This is how I derived the offer price that I'm giving you. It's a calculator that I built, flipping calculator, tools.solohouseflipper.com. It's all free for you. But, that's authority. And that's not sales, dude. That's like having a conversation. It is, anyway, the home base, the reason that I built the damn thing is because I know that if you could just get great deals on the front end, it pretty much solves every problem. That and relationship capital. Whew. It's fun. Having a good time on a Friday. Usually this many people don't show up on a Friday because you guys are doing other stuff. Top Peak says, I can't wait to start flipping houses. Even with videos like this, makes me want to do it. Dude, for sure. Yeah, the deal with the business is it's awesome. Okay. Look, I'm cruising around on a Friday. I'm going to take off early because my wife wants me to. I love working. So, that makes the work part easy. But, yeah, I'm just like, nobody expects me to be anywhere right now. There's nobody, wondering why I'm not at my desk right now. I decided that this morning I'm going to cruise around to a job site and show all you guys what kind of headaches that I'm going to deal with. And, that's all. That's freedom. I don't know what else is. I don't know how else you could consider something being free. I do what I want. However, I want to be successful in something, so I choose these things, and that's what my kids see. Is Dad doesn't, like he does what he wants to do. Not meaning he does what he wants to do, and he's, you know, uh, some kind of heathen. Like I do the work that I want to do. I get to choose the things that I want to work on, and people should work on things. Okay, that's freedom. Does it come easy? Hell no, man. You deal with the stuff that we just dealt with going to this job site. I'm going to have difficult conversations, but those difficult conversations get easier. Yeah, I have to like go um, find houses. I have to go deal with my project management, tools and software. I have to go take notes. I have to uh, deal with like financial strains that come up, because something costs more than it was expected to. Headaches, but you choose your headaches. That's all there is to it. So flipping won't be easy, but it's just as good as the next thing as far as like the headaches that you'll deal with, and the end result is much better, and it's the sure thing. And it's been around for thousands of years. It's not going anywhere. Real estate's always going to work. AI can't do a damn thing about it. I've if if the Tesla bot can go remodel a damn house, oh my gosh, that'd be awesome. But I think that that's a long ways away, and there's still a lot of moving parts. And dude, nobody's teaching it. So like, what kind of information are they going to train off of? Bigger pockets? Good luck. So that's it. Do it. That's what I say. Best business you can have. If I fix my house and get a deal, oh, wife's on board. Good. He says, do you use ARV or your cash on the number for 15%? Yeah, I really should make a more in-depth video on like how those calculators work, because all right, so basically it's I take the acquisition price plus the renovation, plus the cost of the purchase. So like the closing costs, I put 2% as the default, but you can change those in the flipping calc. And so I put those things plus the interest, plus the points. So that's all cash in my opinion. That's all cash that you're having to pay. Whether it's your money or not, you're still having to pay all that money, and that is what you get the return on. And but really, all that matters is that the profit number down at the bottom. If that suits you, and it's everything that you put in there is conservative, let's do it. Why not? That great deals. Yes, guys, I'll walk into a deal that will blow your damn mind. Seriously, buy this house I just bought up in Hickson. I mean, I bought it for $40,000, and I lived in Hickson right before this and sold my house for 400 grand. That is a knock your socks off deal, and you will walk into those sometimes. And I am telling you right now, the only way you ever walk into a home run like that is by sending mail or some type of outbound marketing. Like anybody who's a middleman would have skinned the shit out of that one. Okay, so sometimes you run into the home run deal, but for the most part, it's simple. Like everybody's heard of the 70% rule. That's good enough. All right, my calculator is slightly better than that because it does take more things into account. But whatever, my calculator is free. I'm not pitching it. 70% rule. It's simple. If the ARV is the after repair value is $300,000, 70% of that is $210,000, and then I subtract what I think construction is going to cost. So if I think construction is going to cost 50 grand, 210 minus the 50 grand, that's 160. 160 is my max allowable offer. Good enough. Okay, that is a great deal. Okay, anything better than that is screaming. Anything worse than that, you gotta watch out. Okay, because you just need those numbers. But those deals are out there. They are out there. They're not on Zillow though. They're not on Zillow without a strategy. And this, there are different strategies. We're not going to get into them all today. All I'm trying to say is, guys, I keep saying this, that basically, generally speaking, some people are surprises, and I believe in the surprises. But basically, it's like this. I meet people through this community all the time, and I basically know my business partner, he runs the mechanical, electrical, plumbing company. Oh yeah. So I meet these people through the community, and I know within seconds whether they're going to be successful in the game. And the reason I know is because they're just tuned to action. They're tuned to go do shit and probably mess it up. Okay. And that's okay. I'm actually writing a video. I'm probably gonna record it today. The 83 failures that I've had. And basically I just started going through jobs in my head, thinking about all the dumb stuff that I've done, all the dumb mistakes that I've made. But I mean, I made it through them, and you'll make it through them. You absolutely will, because all problems are solvable. And so that's 83 things that I can see around corners on that other people can't. And so every time I just, more things work out in my favor. But the only way you ever get there is by action. You don't get it. I'm biased here. Hopefully the videos help, and the different content I put out helps. Of course, you need to build a knowledge bank, but it's the experience is the multiplier. And just so I know these people are tuned for action, and they're just going to go, you would say to them, dude, you need to do some more research before you buy that thing. Yeah, maybe, but they bought the thing, and they're going to figure it the F out, and that's good enough. They're going to be there. Those are the people will succeed. Let's see here. Idiots pay retail. Oh yeah, lots of people paying retail. Yeah, guys, there's ways to do all this stuff. Uh, yeah, he says my problem is action. Your problem yesterday was action. Today is today. That's That's all there is to it. That's the beautiful thing about all of us, man, is anything that I was yesterday does not have to be today. I just get, we're like the only animal that has top-down control. I get to say what I want to be today, and I'll go F and be that thing today. So there you go. What do you guys think? Got any other questions out there? Do you have video on mail time frame? Do I have video on mail time frame? Like when I'll have the mail video? You go to homebasemail.io. I have videos on there. I have a course on how to send mail. It's actually, you're in the solo house flipper community in the classroom. It's in there as well. And then, if you just go to homebasemail.io, I've tried to make as many contents as I could, or as much content as I could. How long deals take? Well, I mean, you make a list and you send the mail. The mail, like you have to wait on the mail carriers and stuff. It's first class mail. Usually it takes like 10 days. Like if you bought a campaign today, and not even just through me, but if you bought a campaign from anywhere and mailed it today, it's probably going to take 10 days to get in the mail, maybe 14 days. Maybe some do it faster, but honestly, who cares? I've never understood the sales prop on that one. So I would say 14 days is in the mail. And then most of these guys, it's like direct response stuff. So like the people who are going to call, most of them are going to come in that day, like the day they hit or a couple days later. So like, you look at when mail's hitting, so that way you can get ready by your phone. And depending on how much mail you send, it's all like a game of numbers. But yeah, like if I go click to send mail right now, and if I was having mail hit today, I would be expecting to have a deal by the end of the weekend. But I also send 20 neighborhoods. So like we're talking like I'll be sending 3,000 pieces of mail or more. And so it's just a game of numbers. You get a 1% response rate. That means that I'm going to have 30 calls. Okay, probably half of those calls are going to be what you would call an FU call, which means that they're going to be saying, please, sir, will you take me off your list? On a good day. On a bad day, they'll say, FU, man. And so if 50% of those, I have 15 appointments. Okay, so leads, appointments, shows, that's sales 101. I have 15 now leads that are warm. So I set up appointments with, let's say I'm good and I set up appointments with 50 or 60%. So I have now 8 appointments. Of those, some are going to cancel on you or not even like be there. So let's say I actually get on to 6 appointments. I'm a hell of a closer because of the things that we talked about, and the authority that I can build and the things that I know about houses. This is not like a tooting my own horn. It's just a skill that is acquired over time. And so I might get 5 of those under contract. I might get 2 of those under contract. And and then it just depends on the deal. Sometimes the better thing, the value prop for them is that they want to close fast. A lot of times it's close fast. So I might be closing that thing in 7 days, or maybe they want time to move out. Then I might be closing in 30 days. But those are the numbers, man. That's how it works. All right, guys. Bo Nose is telling me I got to get the hell out of here and get on with my day so I can go on my date night tonight. This is fun. I dig it. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.